Hi students, I hope all are fine. So today what we will do is we will have a revision for the supplementary reading, that is Aruna Asaf Ali, okay, the great patriot. So we will just go through some of the questions and revise the chapter through these questions and prepare well for the exam. Okay, so let us begin. First, answer the following in two or three sentences each. So we have a number of questions, so we need to answer them. Okay. So first question is this: what kind of atmosphere existed in the country when Aruna entered politics? So when Aruna entered politics, what was the atmosphere? What was the atmosphere that was existing in our country? So the atmosphere was, as you know, it is freedom. The freedom struggle was going on. Okay, so the freedom struggle was raging, and the youth were laying down their lives for the country's independence. So when she entered the politics, the freedom struggle was at its zenith. It was growing. Okay, people were having so much awareness of freedom, and youth, okay, youngsters were laying down their life for freedom. Then second question, why was she termed a non-conformist? Non-conformist means one who broke the traditions. So as you know about her marriage, while she joined the freedom struggle, all those things are signs of her non-conformist attitude. So Aruna broke conventions at the age of 19. Born in an Orthodox Bengali family, she married Asaf Ali, a Muslim and a prominent figure in the freedom struggle also. Asaf Ali was 20 years senior to her. So she was termed a non-conformist. Okay, so as you know, she broke the traditions by marrying a Muslim man who was 20 years senior to her and was a freedom fighter. So she was born into a Bengali Orthodox Bengali family, but she broke conventions. See, she broke the traditions. Okay. Then, third question: what was the impact of Aruna's public address during the Salt Satyagraha? Okay, during the Salt Satyagraha, Aruna Asaf Ali addressed public meetings and led processions. She was prosecuted in Delhi and on refusal to furnish security for good behavior was sentenced to 1 year imprisonment. Okay, so what did she do? She addressed the people during the Salt Satyagraha, and once the police caught her, she did not yield to their demands. So she had to be kept in prison for 1 year. Though others were released, she was not released. So you know the story. So the people had to make a public protest in order to get her released. Then fourth question: why had the committee planned to hoist the tricolor? What led to Gandhiji's arrest before the hoisting of the flag? Okay, the Bombay Congress session passed the Quit India resolution on 8th August 1942. The committee had planned to hoist the tricolour at Gawaliya Tank Maidan, but the British got wind of the plan and arrested the top leaders, including Gandhiji, a few hours before the event. So, why did they plan? Because they they passed the resolution, the Quit India resolution, and wanted to show the British that they need freedom, okay, from the British. So they made a resolution that they would hoist this tricolor flag in the Maidan, but the British came to know of this and they arrested Gandhiji and so on. Fifth question: there's no arrest warrant for you, madam. Who else was the warrant given to? What did Aruna persuade the British surgeon to do? Okay, so the arrest was given to Asif Ali. Aruna persuaded the British surgeon to let her accompany them to the railway station to see off her husband. Okay, the warrant was for whom? It was for Aruna's husband. So she persuaded the British surgeon and she also went to the railway station to see off her husband. Then second one is this, that is, answer the following questions in four to five sentences each. Okay, first one. Describe the scene at Victoria Terminus in the early hours of August 9, 1942, as witnessed by Aruna Asaf Ali. So, what happened that day? That day was the day when Asaf Ali was arrested. Okay, so dawn was about to break, and there was a cordon around Victoria Terminus to keep crowds at bay. As she walked along with the platform, she saw Maulana Azad sitting at a window in a compartment of the special train and stopped to talk to him. Okay, what happened that day? That day in the Victoria Terminus, they had kept barricades in order to prevent the people from entering, in order to keep them outside. So, as she was walking, she saw Maulana Azad and she went to talk to him. Then, second question, narrate an instance from the biography to justify the fact that the British were extremely aut- autocratic and ruthless. So, this one is one of the incidents. Okay, we have a good number of incidents from her life. So, from the biography of Aruna Asaf Ali, we can pick out one incident. So, that is this. That is during the Salt Satyagraha. She was prosecuted in Delhi and was sentenced to 1 year imprisonment. A few months later, when most political prisoners were being released, she was not released until a public agitation was launched in her support. In 1932, she was arrested and put in jail, Delhi jail. When she went on hunger strike, she was transferred to Ambala jail, where she was kept in solitary confinement. So the question is this, that to show the autocratic attitude of the British. One or two instances. One is enough, but here we are given two. So first one was during the Salt Satyagraha. At that time, what happened? British caught her and they did not release her. Though others were released, then the people had to make a public agitation in order to get her released. The other one was she was arrested and she found that the prisoners were not treated properly. So she had to go on a hunger strike and they accepted her demands, but she was transferred to Ambala jail where she had to be in the cell in a confinement cell. Okay, so third question, why was Aruna Asaf Ali considered the grand old lady of the freedom struggle? Okay, so there is no much explanation needed for this question. So Aruna Asaf Ali was a fiery leader who plunged headlong into politics at a time when the freedom struggle was raging and the youth were laying down their lives for the country's independence. She was a lady with determination. In the absence of senior leaders like Gandhiji and Maulana Azad, she took up the challenge and unfurled the tricolour at Gowaliya Sang Maidan. She had not surrendered to the British. After independence, she rendered social service until her death. So she was considered grand old lady of the freedom struggle. Okay, why was she considered grand old lady of the freedom struggle? Because she entered the politics, the atmosphere we have seen in the first question's answer. The atmosphere was this, that youth were laying down their life. And what happened when most of the prominent leaders were arrested? There was nobody to hoist the tricolor flag. So she was there hoisting the tricolor flag, thus opening the Quit India movement. Okay, and though she there was arrest warrant and so she did not get arrested. Then after the independence, what did she do? She rendered social service, and some of the institutions which she instituted together with some other people. So that these are the reasons why she is called grand old lady of the freedom struggle. And fourth question, what was Aruna's advice to the freedom fighters? Okay, Aruna advised freedom fighters not to allow any academic arguments on questions like violence and non-violence to divert attention from the stern realities of the day. She further advised that every student and youth should think and feel as soldiers of the nation that was to come. So, one of her most prominent advice was this: you don't have to talk about violence or non violence. No. What you need to talk about is freedom. You have to fight for freedom. You should think as soldiers and you should fight for your freedom for the nation that is to come. So, that was her advice. Fifth question: what was Gandhiji's advice to Aruna? Why could she not abide by it? Okay. So Gandhiji, when the government announced a reward of 5,000 for her capture, Gandhiji advised her to surrender and to take the prize offered for her arrest and to reserve the prize money for the great Indian cause. However, Aruna surrendered only when the warrants for her arrest were cancelled on 26th January 1946. Okay, so Gandhiji had advised her to surrender because the British had offered 5,000 rupees for her capture. Okay, so Gandhiji told her, okay, you get arrested and get that money and preserve it for Great Indian cause. But she did not get arrested. She just waited there she hid herself in the underground till her warrants were cancelled. Only then she came out. Then, sixth question: what were the awards given to Aruna? Why were they given? Okay. So in 1992, she was awarded the Nehru Award for International Understanding. The country also honored her with the highest civilian award, that is Bharat Ratna posthumously, that is after her death. Okay, so these are the answers for the questions for the supplementary reading. Aruna Asaf Ali. So let us just go through and prepare well for the exam. So thank you, dear students. Have a great day and bye.